Pick your hero. Or villain, I'm not judging.
Alright guys,
30 seconds before you
sorry for
attack.
a little bit of
Get
delay.
ready.
We are now looking for an exciting game of Dr. Phillips versus Olympia. A nice rivalry across all sports essentially in the game. So we're looking for an awesome, fun, exciting game. I'm excited. You should be excited. Let's all be excited. We're gonna win. Oh yeah.
The battle starts.
Alright. Currently moving. So it looks like we're running a Penny, Cap, Storm, and a Bucky. Alright. Seems like we're trying to just put a little bit of pressure on them. Trying to look for some free picks. Penny is all the way up there, all the way in the front line. Our Storm playing it safely. Looking at the Hulk. Oh. Seems like just a pretty pressure-like fight. Just a team fight. Looks like we lost someone. Penny down. Penny. Gosh. Alright, but it looks like we were able to take down their Namor. But we did lose the Storm in the process, which is... that's okay. It's first fight, so nothing too crazy. Oh no. Kind of looks like we're all kind of getting wiped out. But, okay, so it looks like Olympia took that first fight. Which, yeah, maybe like that. So it looks like we're going to come in strong with our full team. We have our Penny all the way in the front lines with our Cap. Cap really getting in there, really pushing in. He's looking straight for the back line, straight at the supports. Gets to pick off the snow. Our Jeff actually ults. He gets two of the enemies. He gets their tank and their DPS with a strain. Looks like he's going to commit to the kill. Oh, can he get him? No, he paid. Luckily, though, Bucky was there to help him out. Got rid of the Strange, and we won this team fight. Oh, yeah. Looks like we're setting up our mines. Really trying to get him in. Uh-oh. Olympia's portaling in. They're going in with a C and D ult, so our Penny follows up with their own ult. Our Mantis goes ahead as an ult to keep the team up, keep them playing, keep them fighting. Namor goes ahead as an ult, but he didn't get any picks off of that. There. So our Cap goes ahead and ults, following up a Hela ult. Ooh, seems pretty. Bucky's able to take out the Hela. Can he commit to the kill? Yes, he can. Really good strat there from Olympia, but I'm really glad we were able to kind of like control it, and we were able to win with only a few picks of ours going out. Looks like we're trying to put just a little bit of pressure on there, not trying to push too much into their spawn. Our Penny's all the way up there with their tank, with the other tank Cap. Really getting in there, really pushing in. We don't really have ult, so we're just trying to probably looking to an ult farm right now, get our ults back up for the next team fight. Really pushing up in there. Storm is really pushing in there. Strange is ulting in. Unfortunately, looks like he didn't get any picks off of that. Oh, wait. Yeah, didn't get any picks off of that. The team was able to manage to regroup, back up a little bit, heal up. Looks like we're going in for a Storm ult and possibly a Sharknado ult. Would love to see it. Probably going to be able to help them really with the point. Chasing down the Cloak and Dagger, getting rid of that back line. Now we're turning to look at the rest of the team up there. Get the Luna. Finish off that Strange. And we take first point, allowing us to win the first round of domination. Really good, clean fight from us. Olympia seemed like they were kind of staggering there a little bit. It is first game, so maybe like that. So it looks like we're getting ready for our second round of domination. DP up. So, looks like we're gonna probably stick to a similar comp. Not really too much changes in our comp. Of course, that can always change. Our Penny ults. Going straight to the point. Running straight in there. Looks like Penny is going to commit and try to get really up in there into their spawn and stuff like that. So, placing some mines down and stuff like that. Our tank, or Cap, is really up in there. But OT comes in with a huge Emma ult. Almost wiping out a bit of chunk of the team. Looks like they get the pick on Penny because of that. And Storm. So, it looks like, due to this, it looks like they're probably about to get a free pick off a Cap, only leaving 4 of our players right now, leaving the rest to kind of back up. Olympia took that first team fight, but we're definitely going to come back from that. Looks like our Penny is trying to really get in there, really push up, place her mines down. Our Cap as well, trying to really find that back line. But unfortunately, he does get the pick off. They apparently started running a Storm, so now they are running a Storm against our team, also running the Sharknado. Very unfortunate from us for that to occur to us. So now it's just a quick regroup, get our teams back together, make sure we're all running in together as one. So we're running quickly back to the point. We got a couple ults on us, so looks like the Cap has jumped straight back into the back line, kind of jumping back and forth. He goes ahead and hits his ult, which triggers the C&D to ult, but Cap unfortunately falls down. But we hit him back with their own medicine by also giving them a Storm ult with a Sharknado coming in, which does really huge damage for us, and we're able to win the team fight, taking it before Olympia can officially cap the point. Looks like we're kind of just playing around point, not trying to get too far up into their spawn, but trying to really play it safe. We're just dancing on the point, healing. Right now, the Penny and the Cap are really up there by the door, really just trying to make sure they're getting out as much people as they can. And he goes ahead and tries to ult in, kind of ulting in, ulting out. Managed to get a couple free picks, but she does manage to push the team back quite a bit, giving us enough space. So, goes ahead and places down another mine. Looks like our Cap is really trying to get into this paying attention to this up hole up there, really making sure that he's trying to pick off anybody that's trying to come in, put a little pressure on us. Our Bucky goes ahead and ults. Oh, but the Strange ults, and unfortunately Bucky kind of gets out. or is unable to get out, I should say. This seems like a pretty messy fight. A lot of happening. Honestly, our Storm taking a lot of damage, but luckily our Jeff was able to heal him up. Gets a pick off of them, manages to kill the other Storm, and kind of just playing up here in the front line with the Penny, really trying to put as much pressure as we can. That's the most important part right now. C&D goes ahead and ults, going straight into the point, but luckily our Jeff and Shark Jeff and Storm both ult at the same time. So they're just going ahead and ulting back, but it looks like they follow up soon with a similar ult, taking out our Storm and our Jeff, unfortunately. So it's looking like a pretty narrow team fight right here. However, we have the strength right now, so I think, yeah, we take out the Storm. Looking at the C&D, we take her out clean. Strange goes ahead and ults on point, keeping the fight going on longer. Their Bucky follows us up with an ult, triggering an ult from our Mantis and Cat. So, and also their Emma ults, which could be very bad for this situation. So it's just a matter of playing our lives and trying to stay as alive as long as we can and hold on to that point. Unfortunately, a majority of our team does unfortunately go down, leading to all of us getting kicked off a point. But we still have time. Olympia is only at about 80% right now. They have maybe a minute or two before a full cap, so they very much could bring this back. Looks like our Penny's going ahead and ulting it on point, but it looks like Olympia is not letting them take it. Ends up getting the free pick off of Penny, but Bucky goes ahead with his ult. He's just really playing in there, really trying to make sure Olympia cannot cap this point. But the Strange goes ahead and ults, killing 2 of our players, leaving just Jeff and Cap right now. Can they stall long enough until nope. Looks like we switched to Strange, probably opening up for a portal. CD goes ahead and re-ults on point to really solidify that, leaving Jeff and Strange in the back. Strange unfortunately gets the free pick, and it looks like Olympia takes game 2. So now we are at a very intense last domination point. Anyone's game, equal score right now. That was a really good play there from Olympia. They were really heavily pushing in, essentially not letting us even have the point for 1 second there at the end, really making sure to just kick us off whenever we try to ult and stuff like that. Really good play from them. So, but we've also did have a really good opening fight with Olympia on the second round of domination. So I'm hoping to see a really good fight here as we open up going into domination round 3. So, man, it's kind of intense right there. Got a little stuttered up. So we are opening the fight, heading straight to point. Looks like we have swapped off a Cap and we have went straight to Magneto, which could be the play here. So it looks like the Penny takes it all the way from the front line, really trying to add as much mine as she can and add as much pressure as she can. Looks like we're going in with the opening of Sharknado as we Storm ult and Jeff ult here at the same time. Getting a bunch of free good picks. Great way to open the fight and gives us the point round 1 or round 3 right in the opening. So it looks like we're just kind of playing around here in the front line, put as much mines down as we can. Make sure that, just like how they did to us last game, not even get a minute on point. So it looks like our Magneto is staying a little bit up on the top, but it looks like their Storm's going to try to push in with an ult. Looks like they were able to also trigger a Sharknado, which obviously gives the point to Olympia here, but can we take it back is the real question. Looks like we're just kind of all in there. Magneto is able to get a free pick off of C&D. Our Bucky goes ahead and ults, really looking at that Jeff, really getting rid of that back line, and honestly, anyone he can get. And it looks like because of that, we were able to re-win the fight and retake back point as we approach the 50% mark. So we're just sitting here, playing it safe again, placing back those mines. Looks like Olympia's just trying to poke as much as they can, put as much pressure on us, but unfortunately, I don't think that's going to work. They're all coming to jump back in. So C&D goes ahead and ults, which triggers a Magneto ult. He was able to hit his shot, but unfortunately the Strange goes right in the back and goes straight for our back line. However, we were able to turn around and kind of help our back line a little bit, allowing Strange to get no free picks. And yeah, unfortunately we just had the better strengths and numbers back there, and we were able to handle all of them. The Bucky's trying to come in here. Magneto says no. Looks like we're kind of backing up here, getting really close to their spawn. They go ahead and portal on point, which causes us to do a Sharknado, which looks like we're able to kind of control the point here more with a huge, massive ult. So we are able to get quite the pickings, but they go ahead and follow off with the Jeff ult, swallowing a couple of our players. I think he just got the Storm. Oh no, he got the Storm and the Penny, but that, nonetheless, we were able to win, letting DP take the first win of today's game on domination, bringing our score to 1-0, or 1-0, I guess. That was a really clean game. That third round from Dr. Phillips, they were really able to kind of hold their own and kind of like how I said, give Olympia a taste of their medicine and not allow them to even touch the point once. They really were able to hold their own. Let's take a look at these stats. A lot of good stats here. A lot of high healing, I would say. Even the Olympia had some high healing too. Looks like our MVP, obviously, being Storm with that crazy ult. And so, yeah, looks like a pretty good game here. So I'm really excited to see it. Looks like we're going to head to Spider Island as we get ready for round 2, which I think is Convoy, I think. Wouldn't know, I play Collegiate. But, yeah, good first round from DP. I'm really excited to see what Olympia has in store for us. They're going to give us more of a challenge on this next round as we approach our second game. Yeah, that was a really good first game. They really gave us a run for our money on our second round of domination by honestly just playing together and not allowing us to touch in the last couple seconds in OT of the game. So really expecting some more, what's the word? I'm really expecting more this next game as we continue with our quarterfinals. Or, not quarterfinals, first round of finals, I think. I don't know. Taking a look more at these stats. Yeah. Pretty good first round. Go team. Looks like we're taking a little bit to start. So I'm just going to kind of fill in the time with my sweet serenading voice as I talk a little bit about our team. But I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about our team. Our 2 tanks. I'm not really sure. We do tend to switch it up based on map and comp. So we'll probably end up switching off a Penny here. Maybe not, but it always depends on what they ban, what we protect. That's the unfortunate thing about Rivals, is that your comp always really depends heavily on what gets banned. So now we're heading into round 2 as so we head to round 2, taking us to Spider Islands. Just waiting for the game to pull up. But yeah, I'm very, very excited. Very excited. Here we go. Spider Islands Convoy. Here we go. So, if I'm remembering, Spider Islands, I'm pretty sure we're opening here on defense. And So it looks like they're opening again with a Penny ban. Looks like our Penny was really scary over there, and we go ahead and ban the Moon Knight, and we protect Rocket. So it looks like we're probably expecting a Rocket running into this next game for us. Let's see who they protect. So banning out the Penny and protecting the Rocket, unfortunately, does mean we can't play with the team up, but Rocket's a pretty good support either way. They go ahead and ban out or protect an Iron Man. Iron Man can be really scary in this map. A lot of corners for him to hide in. A lot of places for him to kind of just go around and really be annoying. And they're going to go ahead and ban Storm. So no Sharknado, unfortunately, on Spider Islands. But that's okay with us. We can live with that. That means none for us either. So we're going to go ahead and ban Squirrel Girl, which I think is honestly a really good ban. Allows us to not have to face a really spammy comp, and we're able to kind of hold our own without having to deal with a really harsh Squirrel Girl. We're gonna go ahead and protect Invis as well. Invisible Woman, she's one of the best supports right now in the game. So I honestly think that was a great pick from our team, and yeah, so they're gonna go ahead and protect the Strange. So we're probably expecting a lot of last minute portals, a lot of darting for the backline and ulting, and they're banning Loki, so we're going to go ahead and ban Loki. So let's see what our last ban here is from DP. If you ask me, I think they should ban the Jeff. Yeah. Looks like we're going to go ahead and ban Bucky, so we will not have any Bucky opening with this next round. So very interested to see what their comp is. However, they did leave Hela unbanned, so that could be kind of scary for the Iron Man, but it's always depending on whatever happens, it happens. So gonna go ahead and talk a little bit more about the map. Spider Islands in particular, it has a lot of corners, a lot of places to hide, a lot of good points to really push off the opponent and really just not let them exist essentially on point. Looks like we're going to be opening here with defense, which I know is typically what Dr. Phillips tends to like to do, is that they really love playing defense first, really show the opponent who we are, who not to mess with. So we're going to go ahead and open here on defense. Everyone's going to quickly run to positioning, quickly run to the best port spots and stuff. So yeah. So as I was saying, corners, a lot of places to hide. One thing about Rivals, though, is that you can practically break a good chunk of the map, honestly, so it'd be like that. So looks like we're going to go ahead and go in here. And now the game is starting. Looks like our Venom is taking the high ground. See what the other team is opening with. Of course, they're running the Iron Man as we protected it. And looks like we're running a Hela and Namor comp, which could be a very scary team-up for Olympia to deal with, as it is by far one of the most craziest team-ups, especially in competitive play. Obviously, our two supports being Rocket and Jeff as a chill in the back, just straight healing, as the rest of our team really takes it on the front line. Looks like the opposite team is running a Groot and a Mag. Couple shield tanks. Not too scary, but there are very good characters to play. So it looks like we're just kind of staying here in this corner, trying not to let them earn this corner. This corner is our corner, and we're really just making sure that they can't push up and that we don't let them push up, essentially, yeah. So looks like we're just trying to look for the back line, looking for the front line, and we're just kind of just putting pressure here on the team, on Convoy. We take out the Groot. Venom gets a free pick on the Groot. I'm sorry, Hela gets the free pick on the Groot. Venom going ahead, jumping in straight for the back line, getting all up in their spawn. Unfortunately, he does pay for the price, as he does get the pick off of himself. Now it's just a Magneto versus a Magneto fight. But unfortunately, the Mag is not really putting too much pressure on us. Iron Man coming in here, flying around, probably looking for a free pick in the front, probably looking to ult farm. But it looks like our team is having a really good hold right now. Unfortunately, CD does go in an ult. So can our Magneto hit it? Magneto, unfortunately, isn't. Oh gosh, there's just a whole lot of ults going on. Iron Man wiping out Magneto. Jeff taking out 3 of their opponents. He managed to actually grab the Iron Man and the Cloak and Dagger and throw them off the map along with himself, but it looks like that gives us just the amount of pressure that we need to kind of reclaim the point. And yeah, it looks like we're able to kind of get free pickings here, really get back on that point, reclaim it, and stop them from moving. So that was a good first team fight, I'd say, honestly, as they were really trying to push in there. However, we were able to manage and hold our own and really just survive, honestly. So it looks like they're coming back in. They're really trying to push up. They're really trying to get in there, really trying to hurt us, kill us. You know what I mean? But it looks like Magneto's coming in with an ult, which unfortunately doesn't hit anybody. However, Invis does follow up with her ult, giving them the free push, as she has the comfortability to play in her ult to push as much as we can. Groot goes ahead and pushes up and ults on Namor in the back line. However, they're able to keep each other up, and Groot gets no picks off of that. And they're able to punish the Magneto and get a pick off and pick him off. We're in the last minute of the first round of Convoy, so not sure what we're going to see here from Olympia, but it looks like we're just trying to make sure we don't leave off this point once to not give them the free advantage. So looks like they have a Phoenix now, which could be quite a little scary. Venom's really getting up in there. Yep, coming back, making sure he gets his heals, making sure he doesn't allow. This is a really intense last 30 seconds. It could be anybody's game, honestly. CD goes ahead and re-ults. Can Magneto finally hit a shot? Magneto manages to get out the C&D, canceling her ult. Rocket goes ahead and ults, and so does Namor. Or, Namor doesn't, I mean. Phoenix goes ahead and follows up with her ult. However, it doesn't hit anybody, and everybody manages to survive. The Venom's really getting back up there on spawn again, and so looks like they're hunting down the magic, and OT isn't even able to touch the first point. So that means this could be quite an easy win for DP as we switch sides, with DP taking attack and Olympia taking defense. So that was a really good first game from us. We were really able to come back from those major fights. We were able to kind of hold our own against, crazy ults. Like they spammed 3 ults on the midway of trying to get to point 1, and we were able to come back with that, following up with our own ults, and of course playing our life. So we did a really good job on kind of holding our own, making sure Olympia didn't touch that first point. So that was a great hold from us. We barely let them touch that corner, and yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really intrigued, excited to see what Olympia is going to open up with as we go into round 2 of Convoy. Got about 30 seconds before the round even starts. So this could honestly be a crucial time for anybody on attack, really, on Convoys, to really listen for what might be outside the door. You can kind of hear footsteps. You can hear certain skills going off. So this should be a crucial time to really listen and, not allow Olympia to get any free picks. So yeah, we're starting up nice and strong. So Magneto's looking straight back there. Looks like they have swapped to a Psylocke now. Still running the Iron Man, still running the Groot. It looks like the enemy team has also swapped to a Captain America. So it looks like they're trying to go fast. They're trying to trying to put as much pressure on us as they can. Arhela staying in the back, really trying to play her life, get some heals before she can push up anymore. Venom's really getting up in there. But luckily he does manage to swing back, sit back, get some heals, and get back ready for the fight. We're just kind of playing it safe, not really trying to push up too much, but pushing up enough so that we can put some pressure on them. Looks like the enemy team has also swapped to a Luna Snow, and it's just honestly fighting. We're trying to win this team fight. It's really anybody's game, this first point, so looks like we're able to... Oh, Cap is able to run away from us, but the Groot isn't, as he gets a pick off of him. Just holding on to the point. Honestly, it could be quite an easy game if we just take our time and really try to play together as much as we can. Namor looking at that back line, making sure the Luna can't go out any longer. Trying to get the Iron Man. Iron Man's really trying to distract, hold on to the point, contest as much as he can. But unfortunately, that does not work, as DP is able to take Convoy home on Spider Island, touching first point after not letting Olympia have any space on first point. So we are currently now 2-0 against Olympia, putting us in the lead score-wise. Let's take a look at these stats. Looks like our Jeff went home and took the MVP home for the Convoy game. Look at these stats. Got a lot of good healing, a lot of great damage output, I'd say. OT didn't do that bad themselves either. Good final hits from all of our players, and yeah, even like looking at the death count, you know, we really were able to. I think we did a good job on making sure we didn't die. Essentially, we just made sure that we could survive, play by our supports, run back to our supports, and, you know, really make sure that we were just able to, survive, essentially. I really did like how we were running back constantly, getting healed by supports. Honestly, that was a good, even better match, I'd say, from domination from DP. They really made sure they gave Olympia a taste of their own medicine on Convoy by not letting them touch that point once. I mean, they didn't even touch first point, period. So, yeah. So, really excited to see where we're going to go for Convergence. And I'm really excited to see what we're choosing to run and what we're going to be looking up against. Don't really know the Convergence map just yet. I believe it's like a pick ban kind of thing map-wise. So we're just going to have to wait on that for a little bit. But, yeah, this is looking out to be a first round right now. It is quarterfinals, isn't it? This is looking to be a good first quarterfinals round for us here at Dr. Phillips. However, it is still anyone's game, so gotta keep it low-key with you guys. But I think we got that. I honestly think we got that. So, talking a little bit about the comp, looks like they were running a shield tank and a dive tank, so they were able to really kind of put a lot of pressure on their supports, which could be really bad, especially if they're really good at a dive tank, just really getting all those free picks off of us. And fortunately for us, though, we were managing to turn around, necessarily speaking about us. Fortunately for us, looked like we were able to get a couple of pressures off of the support in the back line. So yeah, looking at our DPS, we ran obviously the Hela and Namor team up. Really good team up right now. Gave us a lot of good pressure, was able to help us put a lot of pressure, especially because Namor with his squids and stuff like that. And obviously our support line, good supports that can really sit in the back and don't have to get up there, and they can just chill in the back. But it looks like we're heading into round 3 on our Convergence. Shin Shibuya, I believe that was the map in the corner, if I saw it right. But yeah, last round. Really excited to see. Really scared. Honestly, my heart's beating always with the shoutcasting, or not shoutcasting, but spectating games, stuff like that. So we're heading in. Round 3, Convergence. DP versus OT. Shin Shibuya. Let's get into it. So we're going to go ahead and enter the pick ban phase. First couple, I'd say about the first minute of the game, honestly. So, could be a lot of I'm honestly really excited to see what we're gonna ban. We'll go ahead and ban the Moon Knight again, as Olympia follows up with banning the Penny again. So looks like we won't be running any Penny on this comp or on this team whatsoever. But they also won't be running a Moon Knight. We go ahead and reprotect Rocket, so we're probably going to be opening up with some Rocket of some sort. And they're protecting Bucky, which could be just a little bit scary. Bucky is kind of good on Shin Shibuya, I'd say. Again, the corners, places to hide. And they're going to go ahead and ban Hela. So no more Namor Hela team up. It's a little bit unfortunate, but I think we got that. There's a bunch of other good characters we could be playing. We're going to see who we're going to ban next. we're going to go ahead and ban the Iron Man, which is good, because no more Iron Man. Even though the Iron Man on last point wasn't really that much of a issue, Shin Shibuya, get him out of there. Truly, just get him out of there, especially because they banned the Hela. We're going to go ahead and protect Invis again. Like I said before, Invis is one of the best supports in the entire game right now, I'd say. Really good. They're going to go ahead and re-protect Strange again. So they're probably obviously going to be opening up with Strange, but shouldn't be an issue for us here at DP. And they're going to go ahead and ban the Jeff. Wow. So that means that no Jeff for us, but I honestly don't think that would be an issue. However, no Sharknado. And we're going to go ahead and ban Phoenix. Phoenix is probably, I'd say, a reasonable ban. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what kind of comps we're going to run out here with you today. Really excited to see what OT has for us in store. So it's going to be a good game. Feeling my bones. Clean 3-0. Here we go. So Shin Shibuya is a convergence, which means, looks like we had a pause here for a quick second. Might be some technical issues outside. Perfectly okay. But yeah, like I was saying, Shin Shibuya is a very corner-heavy map, especially trying to head to point to even touch the first point. Looks like we had one of our players crash, unfortunately. Hate it when that happens. So we're just going to go ahead and take 5, and we will bring the camera back out when we... Oh, actually, never mind. Looks like we're going back in there. Back in. Looks like we were able to get back in. Love that for us. Looks like DPHS 5 was the one who crashed, which I believe that is MJ. A-okay, though. Looks like we were able to get us back in store. We're going to go ahead and reopen again, like how I said. DP really loves defense, so we're going to go ahead and open with defense. Really show this team what they have in store. Waiting for the rest of the comp. Looks like we're possibly going to open up here with an Emma. Emma is really good. She's a really good shield tank. Has a really good ult, especially here, as you can see, like right here with the tight roads and stuff like that. Really good for control. Looks like we're also going to be running a Luna into this, which could also be very beneficial. Her ult is very good, period. And I think she still takes the crown home of being one of the best supports currently in the game. So we're going to go ahead and set up here in the front line. Really make sure that we give them no way to cross that corner. So I'm hearing the footsteps. I'm expecting someone really heavy. OT's opening up with a Thing and a Thor, which is a very interesting tank combo. However, Thing is really good at kind of holding his own, really getting in there. So is Thor. So, but we do have a Groot on our hands, so he's really good at making sure that they can't touch and really holding his own. A lot of good, great control characters here. We go ahead and get our first free pick with Squirrel Girl taking out the Thing. Like I said before, Squirrel Girl is very annoying, very spammy, just very annoying to deal with, and especially on tight corners like this, she's probably one of the best characters you want to run here, along with a Moon Knight. So we're just going to go ahead, stay in the back. Psylocke is getting really up in there, really making sure that they can not touch, and it looks like my PC is dying. Okay, never mind. Probably ish. But it looks like we are continuing to push up. Psylocke staying a little bit in the front line, but really playing in the shields as she could not allow anyone to get a free pick off of her. And of course, our 2 tanks staying really close in the corner and not allowing anybody to push in. Our Psylocke goes ahead and ults the back line. However, it does trigger an Invis ult, which could be really good for us because it was in quite an awkward spot, not allowing OT to really push up. Looks like she's just going to be staying up here on the high ground, come back to the team, and really try to re-push in. Our Emma is really up here playing in the front, really making sure that she can get as much free picks as she can. Again, one of the a really good tank right now. And looks like our Squirrel Girl is just really, again, playing in the corner, not allowing anyone to touch, even the slightest. And yeah, Emma's placing her shield down. But it looks like we have a double ult here from DP. Quite unfortunate. As they were responding to the Star-Lord ult. Typically you do want to support ult there, but double ult is never really good. However, Emma does go ahead and ult, trying to get as much as she can, but it does trigger a C&D ult, leading OT straight into point and to hit all of their ults as fast and quickly as they can, unfortunately putting a lot of pressure on us. And now they're kind of just looking for our Psylocke as she's hiding. Rest of the team not even going to bother running back over there because they know that OT has successfully secured the point. Which, not a big deal. We still have the whole game. And luckily for us, this corner right here is really good to hold, so we can really look to hold it. Not let them go any more than that corner. Excuse me. So it looks like, again, we're just trying to... Looks like our group goes ahead with an ult, triggering another invis ult, but it does have our Squirrel Girl go in an ult, which is honestly very good. Squirrel Girl has a really annoying ult. Magneto responds with his ult, which causes our invis to also respond with her ult. And we were able to get the free pick off of Magneto as our Squirrel Girl essentially really tries to get in there and hunts down that Iron Fist that they have. We were able to win that team fight, luckily. And now our Squirrel Girl is just putting as much pressure as she can on those standing up here in the top. Obviously, high ground is probably one of the best positionings you can have in any competitive game like this. But we're just making sure that we can drop them down, push them out, and again, not let them get any free picks. Our Psylocke goes ahead and ult as basically almost the entire Olympia team was right there, looking at the Strange right now, and just trying to put as much pressure as she can on this Invis and making sure that Invis cannot build up her ult and, of course, not be able to heal their Strange. So that was a really huge ult from our Psylocke. Our Emma going in, again, putting as much pressure as she can on the top right here and really trying to throw them off their game and really push them down as much as we can. Obviously, our two supports staying in the back, playing their lives, and making sure that they're not in any form of danger, which is obviously, again, really good. Looks like C&D is going to go ahead and drop her ult straight here into point, which triggers our Luna to follow up with her ult to keep our team up. So we're all just trying to play in this ult right now, really trying to make sure that, again, we don't allow OT to get any free picks. However, their Thor's going to go ahead and ult on our Squirrel Girl, which unfortunately is able to kill her. And looks like might be giving them a push here. However, our Emma does kind of go ahead and ults and is able to get a couple of them. No free picks, unfortunately. However, she was able to ult. And looks like obviously we're just trying to keep our Emma up, keep ourselves up here in the back line. Unfortunately, Invis did have to reload, which allowed Emma to unfortunately get picked. And we have about our last minute here as we approach second point. Can DP really hold their own and really make sure that they cannot touch, essentially? Looks like we're kind of going in with the majority of our ults active. And yeah, looks like we're really just trying to push in there, play our lives here. Strange is going to go ahead and ult. However, we were able to invis ult right before and turn around and save our Luna, so that way she could not get picked off by the Strange. Looks like we're trying to really push up in there, really get in there, get on that point. Punisher's going to go ahead and follow up with his ult all the way in the back, unfortunately, which a little bit scary as that's where our backline was. Psylocke is going to go ahead and follow up with her ult, also chasing their backline and trying not to allow them any good healing. Currently, a little bit staggered right now, I'd say. However, I think we're doing okay. Really just trying to make sure we can get as much picks as we can and not allow OT to push any more than they have. Right now, I believe it's just Strange and C&D on point right now. So our Squirrel Girl is really looking at our C&D. C&D dies before she can finish her ult. However, they do follow up with an Invis ult. So our Luna goes ahead and ults in, keeping our Emma alive, and of course the other tank Groot, really making sure that they get as much damage boost as possible and that they cannot get any picks. Really trying to keep us up. double tank ult here. However, our Invis was able to ult and keep a good chunk of the team alive. Unfortunately, Luna did kind of go, but that's okay. Psylocke goes ahead with her ult back again, goes back for their back line, taking out their supports, and now focusing their attention on Thor and Strange. Now securing the win, or not necessarily the win. However, they were able to stop OT before they can push any farther than point 1. That was kind of a messy hold, I'd say. A lot of not so good decisions made by us. However, we still managed either way, and we're able to we were able to hold before they were able to push up anymore. So now we're entering into round 2 of Convergence, and yeah, now we're going to be opening up with attack here on us and OT on defense. So we can probably look to expect them really holding up as close as they can and making sure we can't touch. So it's up to DP to make sure that, we can touch. So it looks like we might be opening up here with a similar comp from last game. It was a really good comp. It looks like we're swapping our Invis for Groot, which I honestly think might be the better option for the range. And yeah, really excited again to see what we might be opening up with. Again, really important time to really be listening here. Making sure that they're not trying to do anything sketchy like a strange portal. Nothing too scary as we open up here on round 2 of Convergence. Really going up in there. Looks like we swap one of our DPS for Star-Lord. Unfortunately, Star-Lord got too much pressure put on him and they get the free pick off of that. Emma's just up here, really up here in the front line, as the enemy team has switched to an Angela, which could be a little bit terrifying for us to deal with, but nothing we have never faced before here. Looks like we're going in for a Mantis Groot team up, which could be really good for us as we will have a lot more chances of higher healing, or not necessarily higher healing, but better ways of healing. And it looks like we are still keeping our Luna, and OT has also swapped off the Magneto and has went straight for Groot, probably trying to match our similar comp from last game, or match our Groot necessarily. So our Emma's just really up in there, trying to get as much pressure as she can, trying to get pushed as much as she can, as we kind of hop off and on point. Just again, a fight, anyone's game necessarily. Our group kind of... So it looks like their Bucky's going to go ahead and try to open up with an ult to kind of put pressure on us, back us up. However, that seemed to have worked as the majority of our team has fallen, leaving a couple of them to either come out of spawn or run back to spawn for some protection as they wait for the rest of the team to come back, regroup, and push on for this next fight. So looks like we're just trying to poke as much as we can, put as much pressure as we on. The Angela, however, is able to steal our Psylocke and unfortunately gets the free pick as she pushes her into the team. So our Luna just kind of staying here in the back, really healing, focusing on heals and only heals, as Luna again has a really good, great healing output. Our Emma, of course, really trying to push up into the front, trying to put as much pressure as she can, and obviously bob and weave from the Angela. Our Mantis goes ahead and ults in, allowing us to kind of push up more onto point, but that does follow up with an Invis ult from the other team, which we respond with a Luna ult on our team, allowing us to kind of push up. However, C&D does follow up with her ult, which could be a little bit bad as we had no other ults to really combat that. And obviously, again, the Bucky also going ahead and ulting, giving them the win of that team fight. So, looks like we're just kind of regrouping, waiting for each other, waiting for us to come back as a team, and make sure that we can go in together and win together. And it looks like we are entering the last minute of the game. getting a little scary, I have to say, as, again, we still have a couple seconds before we can actually touch. Our Emma goes ahead and pushes up with her ult, which could honestly be really good, which Scylla goes ahead onto the top, onto the back line where they were kind of just sitting up there and pushes up. However, the group does go ahead and ult. And so now it's just two of us on point here, while our supports obviously sit in the back and try to heal our tanks as much as they can as they dance around on point, really trying to make sure they can cap first point. Truly scary. Our Starlord goes ahead and ults, allowing him to kind of get some free picks. However, he did pay for that. Now our our Rocket has ulted in and allowing us a damage boost and of course healing. However, this is again really good scary game. It's just our supports on point, so no really fast way for us to get back there. And unfortunately for us, OT takes round 3. That was a really intense game, I'd say. But yeah, how unfortunate. Let's go ahead and take a look at these stats, as now we are entering round 4 with a 2-1. Wow, a lot of high healing from our supports, I'd say. 30k. Good picks, I'd say. A lot of good damage output. Shield blocking, of course, as well. Always expect that. But yeah, that was a very good game from us. Gosh, it was one. OT did actually play really well. The one thing about Shin Shibuya, especially on that first point, is it has great, and I mean great, high ground. So as you saw, as we were watching, both their C&D and their invis was kind of just chilling up on the top, not allowing us to even think about getting up there to them. We did try a couple of times, but once they come back, they're just back up top, healing their team. We did have a great hold though, so on first round of Convergence. So again, Shin Shibuya is just one of those maps that has just great great high ground, great places to cover, especially as you notice us kind of hiding as they were trying to poke us on when we were opening with attack. But yeah, that was a good game from OT. They had a really good hold on us, probably even a better hold on us than we initially had on them when we were on defense. And now we are entering round 4. So, like I said, anyone's game. But, we're just waiting, seeing what our map is, seeing what we're going to open up with, what mode we're going to be opening up with. I don't remember what the mode is that comes into round 4, honestly. I think it's domination. I think it just goes back in a cycle. But time will tell. But yeah, really good game. Really, really not necessarily an intense game just yet. That Convergence kind of was a little intense from OT, as, counter picks, I suppose. Taking a quick glance back here at these stats, as I'm reading them all out to you. I mean, their Bucky was able to get about 16 final hits off of us, which, yeah, he did a lot of damage against us. Truly scary. Truly, truly scary. But again, nonetheless, we played good. We played good. Again, Convergence round 1, we were able to have a great hold there the last couple of seconds, not allowing them to even touch once. And yeah, so anyone's game, truly. Truly, truly, truly. But man. Anyways. Yeah. speaking a little bit about the DP and OT rivals, so they, honestly, for as long as even I remember going to school, they have been quite the rivalry here, I'd say. As any high school essentially is, we all have our rivals, but OT and DP has always been something special. It's always brought this mass community, I'd say, this mass intensity, I would say, from both schools, honestly, from some of the stories I've heard from peers I know that go to OT. So truly a deep rivalry. So I expect nonetheless here from a intense quarterfinals round here. Excuse me. But yeah, I'm not really sure how OT have done this season. However, they did manage to qualify for playoffs. So, but we're gonna go and open up with round 4, and I'm gonna go ahead and open up a round 4. Not sure what our map is just yet, or mode, both. But going into game 4, Celestial Husk domination. So I was right. We just kind of recycle in through and just go back to round 1, essentially. So we are in the pick band phase, like I said, and looks like, again, OT's gonna open up with a penny band, and, excuse me, obviously I'm not sure who we're gonna look to ban here. We're gonna go ahead and ban the Moon Knight again. So keeping our bans as first as before. Pardon me. We're gonna go ahead and protect Psylocke. So looks like we might be trying to run a Psylocke into this, and the other team is gonna go ahead and protect Bucky. Their Bucky was really good last round, I'd say. So could be quite the scary protect, if I'd say myself. They're gonna go ahead and also ban Hela. So a couple little funness going on here in the chat, but they're gonna go ahead and look to ban the Hela. So we're gonna go ahead and ban Iron Man, which, again, Iron Man was kind of intense, not really ish, but Iron Man's kind of in a way, period. So getting him out, making sure. Okay. And now we're gonna go ahead and protect Storm. So Storm was honestly one of our truest MVPs on our first round of domination when we were able to play her. So yeah, we're gonna probably be running a Storm. They're gonna go ahead and protect the Strange, of course, and they're also gonna go ban the Jeff, which might honestly, be a good ban here from OT. As that team up, especially with the ults, it's just kind of nasty, and yeah, I honestly, frankly, cannot blame them for wanting to ban Jeff. So looking to see who we're gonna ban. We're gonna go ahead and keep our Phoenix ban, and yeah, now we're just entering the confirmation phase of picking our heroes, loading into the game and stuff like that. We're on Celestial Husk as we enter round 4, 2 DP, 1 OT. So can DP take it home? Or, yeah, knock on wood. Yeah. Really curious to see what our opening comp is going to be here. And, of course, what to be expecting as we quickly approach OT. Looks like we got about 30 seconds before the round starts. So we're just going to kind of go ahead and wait it out a little bit, lounge around, just spamming. So yeah, so looks like we're gonna be running a double shield tank, which could be kind of good here on Celestial Husk. Celestial Husk's personally not one of my favorite maps. Really dark, really hard to see things. But we're gonna go ahead and rush straight to point, as we have a double shield tank with a Emma and a Strange, of course, and of course our Psylocke. Now we're having our magic back again, and it looks like we're trying to match their C&D by running our own along with Invis. So looks like our magic's really trying to get up in there for a little bit, really trying to hunt in the back line as any magic player would, but really trying to make sure to stay with her team, to keep constantly getting healed and not allow OT to put too much pressure on her. Look, the one thing about C&D is that C&D does have really good auto aim with her heal, making her frankly one of the most easier supports to play, but unfortunately her healing output is not the strongest. But it seems like it's working in our favor as she's just able to sit in the back and shoot her heals and, help the team as much as she can. The Psylocke is looking to put pressure on their support, and of course their Punisher is currently with their supports right now, so they're just looking to protect them. It looks like our Psylocke is pushing up, and with her ult, she gets the Punisher, and she's able to get the C&D and the Invis, so she's able to take out the back line, giving us the game. Unfortunately, she just paid the price for trying to hunt down the Punisher, but honestly, I say he's not worth it to hunt him down, and that fight allows us to get the first point on domination here. Angela's really looking for that free pick, trying to push anyone she can off the map, truly, or push him back into her team, which makes her really scary against. Our Psylocke is just looking, again, for any free types of pressure she can put on either, but also building up her ult. Their C&D is going to go ahead and ult, which causes our C&D to follow up with her ult, covering the entire point, and, going in with Cloak here and making sure that she can put as much pressure as she can. Our Strange is going to go ahead and ult, seems relatively huge, and taking out a good chunk of the team, and that again leads us to win the second team fight against OT, as we were able to have the better pressure and have the better ult management, I'd say. Looks like we're kind of sitting up here pretty comfortably. Our Psylocke kind of chilling up here, jumping from the high ground to the bottom ground, as OT, of course, sticks up there at the top, shooting down on us, trying to get as much pressure as they can. Our Invis is here. She has her ult currently, and she's just looking to... And now she ults, following up the OT's Groot ult, which luckily is able to keep us alive long enough for our Emma to get out and ult the Groot and ult the backline as they chase them and take them down again, leading DP to win another team fight against Olympia. It looks like they went ahead and switched off... I don't remember who they were playing, honestly, but they were able to switched to Wolverine, probably with the help of the tank. So it looks like we're dealing with a portal now, as OT intentionally portals in. As we enter overtime, their Punisher's going to go ahead and ult, and that can be really scary, as he is just chilling up there in the portal. Unfortunately, he does drop down, allowing us to get the free pick off of him, again, leading us to win that team fight, which brings DP to, win the first domination round on Celestia Husk. That was a great hold against us. We were able to have a lot better we were able to manage our ults a lot better in that round, I'd say, and kind of matching whomever ulted, following up with our ult. A lot of good support ults, I'd say, from us. And yeah, it seems like we were able to manage ourselves really well that last game, and really excited to see how Olympia is essentially going to counter that. A lot of good characters that they could play to counter this. However, I'm not familiar with who they play, period. So really just leading up to not explanation, but just leading up to, whatever. We're going to go ahead and open up on second round of domination, as we all just run straight to point. Looks like from the Psylocke is trying to just go around, sneak around the back, see who she can pick. They are opening up with the Thing now, and they have swapped back to the Magneto, and still keeping the same support lineup from before. Looks like we're just, again, playing on point right now, running back and forth. It looks like our Psylocke is going to go ahead and ult the back line. And she wasn't able to get really any good picks off of that as the two supports were pancaking. The C&D is going to go ahead and ult onto point, which causes our C&D to also follow up with her ult on point, making ours last a lot longer than the opposing C&D. Our Strange is going to go ahead and ult in, and of course, it seemed like a huge ult as he was able to kind of put much pressure on them. The thing, however, is going to go ahead and ult, which causes our Invis to ult as a reaction to keep our team up from the stun. Now it's just a battle of ults at this point. Our Magic is going to go ahead and ult, releasing Darkchild as she tries to get more picks off of the back line so that way they have as much low heals as possible. Our Strange, unfortunately, did get picked in that last fight, so he's probably rushing back to the point right now as we enter almost 50% here on point in round 2 of domination. So it looks like we're really trying to take advantage of the top ground here. We get shoved down, unfortunately, but we are able to hold our own and back up as much as we can, so that way we are, again, playing as a group. Excuse me. Looks like our Psylocke is probably looking to... Yep. She goes ahead with her ults the backline. Again, unfortunately, they have started pancaking the two supports, so they are able to keep themselves up during it, but it did cause a distraction for the other rest of OT to turn around and try to deal with the Psylocke, I'd say. C&D is going to go ahead and use her ult again, which causes, again, our C&D to follow up with her ult. Emma goes ahead and ults as well, pulling everybody up as close as she can. Our Strange is going to go ahead and ult. However, their Invis was able to ult following suit, which kept the majority of OT alive. Again, Magic's going to go ahead with Darkchild and get as much picks off and put as much pressure as she can, while Invis ults to keep everyone alive. And looks like Invis was able to dodge that Magneto ult that might have been for her. However, she does get Namor ult and taken out, and it looks like OT has won that fight. However, there is more than enough time left on the clock here as our team groups up and heads in for the next team fight. That was a great attack there from Olympia. They were really kind of giving us a run for our money in that game. However, I think that DP can really kind of push in here. Looks like their supports, again, like I said, are really trying to stay up as high as they can and really stay away from the danger. Looks like our Psylocke is probably going to look to handle them, causing as much distraction as she can, poking as much as she can. Looks like the opposing team has also swatched to match our Magic, and that could be kind of the move here, honestly. Things gonna go ahead and ult. However, we had no support ult to follow suit, which does unfortunately wipe out our Invis, leaving just the C&D by herself to solo heal as we wait for the Invis to respawn and walk back. Excuse me. Emma and C&D get the pick off of them, unfortunately. Just leaving Psylocke. Psylocke's down now. Now just leaving Magic, Strange, and Invis as C&D and Emma come back, probably looking yet for another regroup. Really messy fight there, I'd say. We did a lot of staggering. Really not necessarily paying attention. It looks like OT has now opened up with a Fantastic as well, looking for the Fantastic Four team up, which Invis and Fantastic. But of course, we're running in strong as we can, looking to deal with and recapture this point as, yeah, looks like we're really building up our ult as quickly as we can. So, might be looking for a final fight call here. And it looks like Darkchild is out. And as causes our Invis to ult, which causes their Cloak to ult, which causes our Emma to ult. Just being a really long string of ult. Our string kind of goes in and ult. Really handles the C&D. Fantastic goes ahead and ult. However, I think this is someone they can easily deal with. So it's just a matter of waiting for them to come down. However, Olympia goes ahead and opens up with another portal as we are approaching OT overtime in this second round of domination. It's really scary to play in that portal. So our Magic is going to go ahead and release Dark Child and try to just get rid of as much of the support as much as she can. Really try to put pressure on them, distract them, make sure that they can't come back and ult to protect their people. Psylocke is going to go ahead and do the same. However, she was managed to get the pick off this time. And it looks like we are able to reclaim the point on this last fight as really intense, I'd say. And it looks like DP takes the win 3-1 on that last round of domination. Really intense, I'd say. OT seemed a little bit panicky on that last couple of points, but we again managed to secure the win fully 3-1. Take a look at our stats here. It looks like our Psylocke secures the MVP status. But yeah, clean 3-1. Another victory for DP as we now are going to semifinals. So taking a nice peek at our stats here. We've got a lot of good stats here. A lot of good damage block. A lot of great heals, I'd say. Yeah. Honestly, seems like C&D was putting overtime on here on Olympia's side. Really trying to heal as much as she can. But yeah, it was a very good game, I'd say. Good game to Olympia. They played really well. And yeah. So Friday, of course, we'll be playing our semifinals match. I'm not sure who will be playing against that. However, we'll find out once other matches finishes. And yeah, see you guys Friday for the semifinal stream as we are done here. Good job, Olympia, and good job to Dr. Phillips. Yeah. Go team.